Hey y'all, Big Tim here. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, here we are. We're off again. This will be my, third day of practice and fourth day on the river in the last 2 weeks. And in that time, I have yet to put together a 5 fish limit over the combined days. It's been really tough. And anybody that says that practicing for a tournament, which is what we're doing today, we're practicing for the Gallatin Co Open out of Craig's Creek coming up here in October. But anybody that says practicing for a tournament isn't work, let me tell you, it is. You've got to figure out where the fish are. You've got to figure out what's going to make them bite. And right now, it's difficult. I hung around the house today a little while because it was cool this morning. I got down to 41, and there's still a bad fog. It's 9:20, and there's still a pretty bad fog. So I don't know. I can always fish right there around the ramp, but I don't like to run in the fog. So we may end up having to stay close. Hopefully the fog will burn off soon, and we'll have an opportunity to get around and go to different creeks and fish the main river and everything else. But right now I can't get anything going. Whether it's creeks, whether it's river. I did catch one nice fish on Saturday, and I think it clued me into something, but I couldn't follow it up the rest of the day on Saturday, so I don't know. But we're going to try that again today, and if it works, I'll let you know what's going on. Because let's face it, this video won't get posted until after the tournament anyway. But things are a lot different than they were last year. They're a lot different than they have been in years past, other than the fact that it's tough. As a matter of fact, it's so foggy right now. I gotta take those off. So anyway, hopefully we can go out and catch some fish. And it's gonna be rough. I'm feeling rough today. I don't know if the atmospheric changes or what's going on. I'm sure it is, but everything is sore today. My elbow, I woke up, both elbows are sore, which normally doesn't ever happen. Both knees, both ankles. So it's going to be a struggle, but you know what? What are you going to do? Sit on a couch and hope you catch fish? Ain't going to happen that way. So we're going to go see what can happen. What's pretty amazing, as foggy as it was at home, down here it's pretty doggone clear. It's amazing. I wished I'd have gotten out a little bit earlier. Oh well. I don't know if we're going to need this or not, but we're going to keep it handy. only made a couple casts with the whopper plopper. There's the results. That isn't a great keeper, but it is a keeper, and it's a decent one for the river. Maybe we've gotten something figured out finally. Whopper strikes again. Well, as you can see, I didn't really have anything figured out. My previous video, I thought I had something on, and I tried running with it. I had been catching some fish toward the back of the creek, not all the way, and there were 1 or 2 fish there. Never enough to be a pattern. So I fished a total of 7 creeks, and I caught fish in 4 of them, but there was only 1 creek that I actually caught 2 fish in. Most of the time I would catch 1 keeper a day, and that's not enough. So I wasn't feeling great about our chances, but I realized everybody's in the same situation. But on the last day of practice, I did find out that there was also an Indiana Bass Federation tournament out of Goose Creek. And to have that 40 boat tournament out of Goose Creek as close as it is to Craig's, I just wasn't comfortable. There was just so many negative things happening this weekend that I decided that maybe it's best that we stay home. And I still feel good about that decision. We decided not to fish the tournament, both Jake and I. Jake actually was okay with it because he was actually going to fish another tournament on Sunday a little further south. So it gave him a little bit more opportunity to practice for that tournament. But yeah, having the 40 boats out of Goose, that would have meant a lot of the areas that I'm more familiar with, you know, the Big Bone area, all of that would be covered up with those guys first, you know, unless for some reason we were out earlier than they were, and I figure everybody probably left at about the same time. So we decided to pull the plug on it. And like I said, I still feel good about the decision. Turns out the tournament was won just over 6 pounds. And it was a tough tournament. You know, some friends of ours actually got a check for 3 pounds. And they were in 5th or 6th place with 3 pounds. That's pretty tough. £6 to win that tournament. We had 5 last year, and we were in 5th or 6th. So to have £6 to win the tournament, and I say just over 6, somewhere over 6, really, really tough time. So that was our decision of why not to do it. There were several different things that didn't look good. The weather didn't look good. It was going to be really cold that morning. The fishing has been tough, obviously, but everybody had the same situations. But it was that 40 boat tournament that was going to basically crowd the area that I'm most familiar with. That was my biggest thing. If it wasn't for that, we would have been down there. But who knows? Maybe next year it won't be so crowded. We can get out. And let me just say something about that crowd. Had that Indiana Bass Federation tournament gone out of Tanner's Creek, which is, another 15, 20 miles up the river, wouldn't have bothered me. Because that, you could absorb all of that in that big immense area. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 35 miles from Tanner's to Craig's. So there's a lot of places that can absorb, the 50 boats from Craig's and the 40 boats if it were at Tanner's. But when you have Goose and Tanner's, that's about, I'm going to say, about 15 miles. And there's only a few creeks in that area. So all of that is just compressed. And that was my problem. Just the amount of people, the crowds, beating on a very, very few fish that were wanting to bite. So I will say that I found out the Indiana Bass Federation guys did a lot better than the Gallatin County guys did. Particularly on the first day, their tournament leader, granted, it's not a team tournament, it's individual weight, but their tournament leader that day had 6 pounds himself. And here we got a team tournament with 2 guys that put their best 5 together and only came up with 6 pounds. So I think the IBF actually did a little better fishing. And I think weights would have been better for everyone had they gone on Tanner's. But that's the way it is. So anyway, that was our reasoning why people didn't see us down at Craig's Creek this time around. Hopefully we'll be back next year. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you the next time.